Good afternoon and welcome to the YWCA. My name is Mary Quinn and I am the CEO, and we are proud as the YWCA to support the Speak Up for Unity rally, which fits so well with our mission. It's crucial for all of us to speak up against hate and injustice in our community. We hope you will all join us tomorrow from 2 to 4 at Harrisburg High School. I'm now going to introduce the Honorable Cornelius Johnson from Harrisburg City Council to make a few remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Community Responders Network for organizing Saturday's Speak Up for Unity rally. I would also like to thank the YWCA under the direction of Ms. Mary Quinn for creating, overseeing the Community Responders Network, which plays a significant role in central Pennsylvania in building a stronger and a more inclusive community by educating, preventing, and responding to instances of bias and intolerance. This Saturday, people will be expressing their First Amendment rights in Harrisburg in a couple different ways, which under the Constitution drafted by our forefathers is granted to all Americans. The Speak Up for Unity rally is a way for us to embrace our First Amendment rights to focus our time and energy on an event that seeks to build unity here in Harrisburg. It is important to note that you cannot spell community without unity. When I think of unity, what comes to mind is the characteristics of a rope. A rope is strong because its threads are united. Unity refers to the condition or state of being one. In theory, a rope cannot be broken unless the threads are separated. At times within a community, there may be things that attempt to unravel the rope that holds us together. And while acknowledging that even though everything is not perfect, we must remember as long as we stand united, we will not fall. While others may speak out against diversity and unity, we choose to embrace it, knowing that's what makes our community great. That is why it's important to have organizations like the Community Responders Network to ensure our rope that represents our community through the most difficult circumstances stays strong and intact. The Speak Up for Unity rally is significant because it will highlight young people within the area who will be volunteering their time to speak and perform about the importance of diversity and unity. We should all be proud because what it shows is true leadership knows no age. Leaders are people of any age who just go do it. They grab your attention, take the initiative, are compelling, and set an example. Our young people will be setting the example on Saturday, and it's my hope that all who can attend will be there to help them celebrate our differences and highlight the greatness of our community. I would like to introduce Ms. Ann Van Dyke, the chair for the Community Responders Network.
I am with the Community Responders Network here at the YWCA, and my comments this morning are based on my experience as a civil rights investigator and trainer for the State Human Relations Commission. During the last 24 of the 33 years that I worked there, much of my time was spent working with communities and schools where white supremacist organized hate groups were having an impact, either by directly recruiting people, particularly young people, or with public rallies like the one that will be held on the Capitol steps on Saturday. In the United States, we have the strongest freedom of speech rights in the galaxy. That does indeed mean that sometimes speech that many of us find to be extremely offensive and destructive, when presented in the form of opinion, is protected under the First Amendment. When I represented the state's civil rights law enforcement agency, I could not try to dissuade people from attending a constitutionally protected event, which is what the rally on the state's Capitol steps is. It's constitutionally protected. Government must remain neutral on protected speech. But I'm retired now, so I can say, please, please, come and join us at the Speak Up for Unity event at Harrisburg High School. Take your stand with us there. We do understand that some people who oppose the hate group's message believe they must be present and believe they must protest. We certainly acknowledge that it is their good faith effort to respond to a very troubling and perplexing event. We have seen, however, that so often protesting at this type of rally is counterproductive. At their public rallies, hate groups seek to draw the largest crowd possible of protesters. Protesters' presence draws more media and can give hate groups the basis for claiming they are being denied their constitutional rights, which can lead to suits against the city or the state. We also know that hate groups are very adept at inciting violence without taking part in violence. And in the 23 hate group rallies that I worked, most of the people who broke the law and were arrested were protesters. Another goal of these types of public rallies is to inflame tensions in that town, particularly tensions between the community and police. There will be several police departments present tomorrow at the rally on the Capitol steps, and they will have no choice but to stop any conduct that interferes with First Amendment rights of the group that has the permit. We need to keep in mind that the more protesters and the more immediate attention a hate group gets, the more likely they are to come back. So that is why our PR for the Unity event has consistently said, what if a hate group gave a rally and nobody came? But instead, hundreds of people went to the other side of town to affirm equality and nonviolence. That needs to be tomorrow's biggest news. Our advice to the community is, if they are opposed to what the hate group stands for, refuse to be in their presence and do not be silent, but go to the other side of town to affirm that goodness has freedom of speech rights too. And do it with more voices and more energy than anything that's being spoken downtown. Our goal at the Speak Up for Unity event at the high school Saturday is not to hate the haters more than the haters hate us. And it's not to say that everything is perfect in Harrisburg. It is to say that we seek to be a town where everyone is safe and respected, and that this is a town that is strengthened by its increasing human diversity. Harrisburg's youth need to see the strongest spirit of the day tomorrow is one of unity. And they need to see that there is room for everyone in Harrisburg. And our youth need to see us, the adults, acting like we know human difference is natural and normal and not to be feared or avoided. At the Unity event, we will be wrapped in positiveness and in the energy that comes from knowing that love is always more powerful. It is more powerful than fear, it is more powerful than history, and it's more powerful than hate. Love is always more powerful. And the Unity event will build bridges that will last beyond the day. It is so important to speak up for unity. The performers and the speakers and the youth volunteers and even the door prizes and the food will provide the best thing you can do on Saturday. Please join us. The next speaker is Daryl Runford, who is the Executive Director of Christian Churches United of the Tri-County area.
Thank you, Anne, for those inspiring words. Christian Churches United of the Tri-County area is very grateful to be able to be a sponsor of the Speak Up for Unity rally tomorrow at Harrisburg High School. It is our hope that this event can be one that highlights the many positive voices that are present in our community, and that those voices can be heard loudly, and that it will inspire us to continue to work together to stand in the future against inequality and injustice. While churches have been a huge force for good in our communities and have locally been working together across denominational lines since at least 1944, Christians aren't always known for their calls to unity. Despite our differences, it is time for us to come together, both tomorrow and on a consistent basis, to say that love is stronger than hate. Too often, people of faith have been silent in the face of injustice, and that is exactly why we are holding this rally. For those that do choose to protest directly, and for the public safety officials who must protect the free speech rights of all, we pray that all would uphold the values of decent conduct and nonviolent protest that can promote positive social change. We are gathering tomorrow to have a celebration. Once we leave the rally tomorrow, it is our duty to find ways to build bridges and come together on a regular basis to confront injustice and build on the work that many faith groups, businesses, nonprofit and public agencies, and grassroots groups are already doing to fight injustice and racism in our community. We will work together, and we will not be silent. I'd like to introduce Nathaniel Gadsden, who is co-chair of the Mayor's Interfaith Advisory Council, who also brings some words.
Thank you, Reverend Renford, and good afternoon. This is a very important time because we're here to talk about unity, to talk about love, to talk about a community coming together in the face of hate talk and hate action. The thing I know and the thing that you know, based on the history that we lived, is that hate oftentimes will win a battle or two, but love always wins the war, and that's the key. I tell people all the time, they get so frustrated by those who want to perpetrate hate or do destruction in our communities. I said, but look at the aftermath. Love always rises up, especially when we as a group of people, and I'm talking about people from all faith walks, all racial backgrounds, all cultures, come together, and we say no to hate. We say no to destruction. We get stronger every single time. This rally is the coming together of people of goodwill, people who understand the necessity to love in the face of hate. People who understand how to fight fair, how to fight hard, how to win. Love always wins. So what we're going to do is we're going to gather in the name of love. We're going to come together. We're going to face down those who want to stir up the nonsense that continues to try to divide us. And we're going to say no to it. And we, those of us who are old enough to be role models, we're going to do our best to demonstrate to these young people what it means to be strong, really strong, what it means to be tough, really tough, but what it means also how to love. It's not a matter of tearing down, and I thank Ann Van Dyke for being the spark, by the way, of all this. Thank you, Ann, for doing what you do. And then you got that other person sitting with the name Amanda Arbor, who represents the YWCA so well. And then also all of you. Thank you, Joyce Davis, for the World Affairs Council and all that you do. Thank you, Executive Director of the Y. Now, I'm going to blow her name, but thank you so much for what you do, because I know you always, keep it together. And this is a tremendous organization that is making this happen. But this is no light matter. We are in the midst of a war, and the war is the winning of our nation's soul. And the way we win that soul is that we continue to love, we continue to stand strong, and we always respond. The Community Responders Network has it right. When hate rears its ugly head, we stand up, we speak out, and we don't allow it to go unchecked. That's what this is all about. Ann Van Dyke has been doing this for a long time. Thank you, Brother Cornelius Johnson, too, by the way. Hey, Cornelius is one of my students in school, man. I'm so proud of this guy. I'm so proud of this guy. Why? Because he stood up. He's making a difference. That entire class from Sci Tech that came out in 2006, they have done tremendous things. They represent the best of us, so we know that love works. We know that hard work works, and we know that we have a bright future because of our youth. I'm happy to be a part of the celebration tomorrow. It will be a celebration in which we come together and say no to hate. But also, I like the fact that all of you have said that we need to now do more. We need to go beyond just the rally. We need to come together for real. We still know that in our community, let's be honest about it, that Sunday morning is one of the most segregated times in our country, because we divide ourselves. Well, we got to stop dividing ourselves, for hate loves to see an opening, and when it sees an opening, it will come in and try to divide us even more. We have to be real careful about the messages we give, how we give it, and we have to be serious about the love that we are, that we are speaking of. So proud to be part of the rally. Hope that everyone will come out with goodwill and good intention on your heart, and make sure that you come out and not go to the other side, because if you go to the other side, it'll bring something out of you that will cause you to do the things you don't want to have happen. Do those things that will make us all proud. Do those things that will make us all love stronger and longer. And God bless you all for the work that you're doing. And let's keep it together. Thank you.